environmentally friendly. Not just credit card and plastic, but we have reduced and eliminated all the UV components that used to go with the replacement filters. So less electronic waste, less energy consumption by 25%, better for the planet, better for all of us. Back to this. Amway is not just about a healthy physical body. It's about a healthy mind. It's about social connections. It's about personal development. It's about financial freedom and financial well-being. And it's about living and leading behind a healthy planet. How boo how? Boleh tak? So without further ado, let's welcome the latest and the best eSpring water treatment for the next 20 years. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause and give it up to Mike. And for the first time in my life, ladies and gentlemen, I hate credit cards. Well, let's live a better life with better water with the brand new eSpring by Amway. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, next, we are honored to have this distinguished expert to join us for a special presentation. Well, he's globally recognized expert in water systems with over 24 years at NSF International. Well, he specializes in drinking water treatment and has contributed significantly to developing water treatment standards. He has authored over 200 articles and presented seminars worldwide. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome the Director of Global Business Development of Water Systems, NSF, Rick Andrew. His dedication to improving water quality and safety is truly remarkable. So ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia, give it up to Rick Andrew!
Hello, Malaysia! It is my great pleasure to be here with you tonight to celebrate this wonderful event. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Rick Andrew, and I have served over 24 years at NSF, a leading global health and public safety organization. I served as the Director of Global Business Development for NSF's Water Systems Division, and I'm also a voting member of the NSF Joint Committee on Drinking Water Treatment Units. And it's my pleasure to be here to tell you a little bit about NSF and about the state of our water today. When we think about the state of drinking water, we have some good news and some not so good news. The good news is that about 73% of our global population, or about 6 billion people worldwide, have access to a managed drinking water service, which means that water is on premises, it's available when needed, and it's generally free from microbiological contamination. That's the good news. The challenge is that over 2 billion people live in water-stressed countries. This means that they have concerns about access to water, and they have concerns about the quality of that water. And these concerns are expected to increase in the future due to a rising population and also to climate change. So we have some good news, we also have some challenges. And when we think about concerns about drinking water, oftentimes what we see is that at the treatment facility, things are pretty good. The treatment is pretty effective, the water is high quality at that point. But then the water has to go through many kilometers of pipes before it finally reaches our home faucet. So we can have some problems that happen along the way. First of all, if we don't have enough disinfectant in the system, we can end up with disinfection issues and have microbiological growth. The disinfectants that we use can lead to byproducts that are chemicals that can be bad for us. We can have other contaminants leaching into the water from the distribution system itself over the course of these many kilometers. And we can end up with a lot of challenges by the time the water reaches our home faucet. So this creates a need for us to have water filters. You know, we really think about these contaminants that can be in the water coming in several different categories. We have emerging contaminants like microplastics. We can have PFAS chemicals like PFOA and PFOS. There can be possibly pharmaceuticals in our drinking water, such as ibuprofen, trimethoprim, naproxen, others that are similar. And again, we can have these system failure issues that make us really want to have a tool for us to provide safer, better drinking water for our families. And point-of-use water filters empower us to take control of the water that we are delivering for ourselves and for our families. I mentioned about PFAS. PFAS is a class of chemicals that have had broad industrial use around the world for many years. They were used to prepare stain-resistant fabrics for furniture, for waterproof apparel, for firefighting foam, and other uses. And PFAS can be very persistent in the environment, lasting for many, many decades without breaking down. And this ability to last for many decades without breaking down can cause it to accumulate in our bodies and potentially have really negative effects on us and our health. As we go forward and study more and more about PFAS in our drinking water, we realize it's being found almost every place we begin to study it. For example, in 2023, there was a study of 61 sampling sites here in the Klang Valley region, here in Malaysia, and over 60% of those sites tested positive for a whole variety of different PFAS compounds right in the water, something that hits us right here in Malaysia. We talked about microplastics. Microplastics are something that we're learning more and more about as each study is conducted. And we're realizing that microplastics can affect us through air. We can breathe them. Through our food, we can eat them. I think Mike really described the problem very, very well. And if you want to put some numbers to it, bottled water can have a fair amount of microplastics. And one study showed that the average American is consuming up to 200,000 microplastic particles each year. It's a serious concern. So when we think about water filters, we think about some of the technologies that are used to treat that water. Physical barriers can be used, which prevent contaminants from passing through the barrier and staying in the drinking water. We can also use activated carbon, which absorbs contaminants out of the drinking water and makes them stick to the carbon. We can use ultraviolet, which will disinfect and prevent microorganisms from reproducing. Or we could use reverse osmosis, which separates the clean drinking water from a contaminated water stream using a semi-permeable membrane. When we think about these technologies, we can also think about advanced treatment technologies that are combined. We can combine the physical barrier. We can combine that with the activated carbon, the carbon block, and we can combine that with ultraviolet to produce a technology with no waste stream, on-demand high flow, no byproducts, and it retains healthy minerals. A nice example of how advancements can be made by combining technologies together and taking advantage of their best characteristics. I mentioned that I had worked for over 24 years for NSF, a leading global health and safety organization. It is the largest independent certifier of quality, health, and safety. Founded 80 years ago in 1944 in conjunction with the University of Michigan, NSF has a human health mission. NSF develops American national standards for water filters. And in this process, there is significant international representation as the standards are developed, because lots of countries have similar problems with their drinking water to what the US has. And the outcome is that these standards, although they're American national standards, are very applicable globally, especially here in Malaysia, as we heard about some of the issues that we face. NSF also provides testing and certification to these standards. There are several aspects of these standards that really influence the quality of products and help assure that quality comes through for us and our families. The first one is safety of materials in contact with drinking water. It's utmost important to make sure that these water filters are made with the highest quality materials that are very, very safe to use with drinking water. So this testing is conducted under these standards. It's also extremely important that products not leak, or that they last a long time and they're durable. So there's structural integrity testing required under these standards as well. Of really high importance is the contaminant reduction testing, to make sure that the water filter is effective, as Mike mentioned, and effective in reducing the contaminants that the manufacturer is saying it will reduce. Also evaluated under these standards are user instructions. So it's very clear to the user what their responsibilities are to keep these systems operating the way they're intended to operate. Changing the filter on time is a big one that has to be covered in the user instructions. And when we look to certification to these standards, we see an even greater level of protection. There are annual audits of the manufacturing facility that are required to make sure the supply chain is not changing. There is retesting required every 5 years to provide further assurance of the safety and quality of the products. And then any changes to the products must be reviewed by technical experts to assure that there's no negative impact on product quality. All these aspects of the standards and all these requirements of certification work together, and they mean that families can trust certified filters. And when it comes, absolutely. When it comes to NSF certified filters, the NSF certification mark is always on the filter. If there's no NSF mark on the filter, it is not NSF certified. There are 4 main standards that we think about when we think about these water filter standards, each one focused on different types of contaminant reduction. NSF ANSI 42 focuses on aesthetic contaminants that make the water look bad, smell bad, or taste bad. And so really it's important to make sure that we have coverage under this standard to provide good tasting water. NSF ANSI 53 addresses contaminants that have health effects. These contaminants are typically identified by government agencies as harmful, and they're regulated. And so we really want to make sure that our filters are capable of removing these contaminants from our drinking water. NSF ANSI 55 is for ultraviolet systems, UV systems. And originally, actually for many years, this standard only covered UV lamp systems. But recent developments have led to it now being able to test and evaluate UVC LED systems to make sure that consumers have access to the latest and greatest technology. And NSF ANSI 401 is for emerging compounds. Now, emerging compounds are those that are being detected in the drinking water, and people want to filter them out, But at this point, there's no conclusion of health effects from these contaminants at the concentrations that are being detected. This could change in the future if those contaminants are studied further and become regulated. Then those contaminants would move from standard 401 to standard 53. Looking at NSF ANSI 42 in a little more detail, this was the first of these water filter standards to be adopted, way back in 1973. So these standards have been around for a long time, more than 50 years. Now, the standard hasn't just sat idle for the last 50 years. In fact, it's continually updated through a process of revision to make sure that it's staying up to date on the latest technologies, the latest regulations, to provide the best testing that is current with today's technology and regulations. It's focusing on reducing aesthetic contaminants like chlorine, chloramine, and particulates, and filters that are certified to NSF ANSI 42 provide water that we and our families want to drink. We can look at NSF ANSI 55, which covers UV systems for microbiological treatment of the water. Nobody wants these microbiological contaminants, and this standard is very applicable in their reduction. As I mentioned, for a long time, it focused only on UV lamps, and recently has been modified to address the new LED UVC technology. Now, this modification took a lot of work. In fact, a whole new test method had to be developed to evaluate this new technology because it is operating at different wavelengths that are more effective at reducing these microbiological contaminants. So it took a great deal of technical work to make this happen. And the end result is that we and our families can benefit from the latest and greatest UVC LED technology certified to a technical standard. NSF ANSI 53 and 401 demonstrate for us very well the rigorous nature of the testing under these standards. For example, testing must be conducted at the highest flow rate that can be achieved at 414 kPa or 60 psi. So this means with a high flow rate, the water is contacting the filter as little as possible under that high flow rate condition, which is a very difficult test to have such fast flow rates and little contact time. Additionally, the testing is conducted to 200% of the manufacturer's recommended filter life, or 120% if the system has a filter change indicator. So here we're making sure that the filter will work even if someone doesn't change the filter when they're supposed to. Or maybe if something else is wrong, we're building in some safety margin there to provide extra protection for consumers who are using filters tested to these standards. The testing is conducted with high levels of contaminants, much higher than would be seen in the typical user's water, even if they have that contaminant in their water. So that again, we're building in a layer of safety with this testing to make sure that these products are going to work. Performance is required at every sample point throughout the life of the test. So from beginning to end of life of the filter and beyond, that filter must be performing every step of the way in order to achieve certification to this standard. Finally, testing is conducted in duplicate. So by testing 2 units, we can make sure that there's no variation in manufacturing and that we're getting consistent, good results from multiple units to make sure that that production is working correctly and the products have high quality. All of this works together to provide an ultimate safety measure for these filters and for people who are providing water from these filters for themselves, for their families. They can be trusted. All of this adds up to assurance and trust in water filters certified to these standards by NSF. So that's all for me. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Let's get ready for the next presentations.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up once again to Rick for that insightful introduction. Amway Malaysia, make some noise, come on! Thank you very much to Rick once again. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 18 years of delivering clean, safe, and better tasting water to households around the world. We're so happy, we're so thrilled, and we're so excited that a brand new eSpring has now finally arrived in Malaysia. Well, to further discuss and understand more about the new eSpring, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our moderator for the next session. Please welcome the Assistant Sales Training and Operation Manager of Amway Malaysia, Chu Yao. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our two esteemed guests who will be joining us to discuss the new eSpring water purifier. Well, our first guest is the Global Regulatory Affairs Manager at Amway. Well, she oversees healthy beauty and home product launches and business activities. She spent 7 years as a research scientist developing new methods for analyzing effects on human skin, hair, and appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Yulia Park, the manager of Amway Global Regulatory Affairs. On to the next esteemed guest, we are introducing to you a vibrant leader with over 30 years of experience in brand management and strategic marketing. As Amway's global brand manager of water treatment, he champions innovation and operational excellence to elevate brand value. Here we have, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Sturgeon, the global brand manager of eSpring. Once again, give it up to Chu Yao, to Yulia, and to Tom, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Hello, Amway! The new eSpring is here! Make some noise! Woo! I love the energy that is in this room tonight. I'm sure you're all excited, right? And you know what? This evening, we are so privileged because we flew all the way from the United States and from Korea to expert speakers, to scientists, and they are here to spend this next hour with us, and they are going to tell you everything about the new star of tonight's show, the new eSpring. So are you ready? Yes! Let's go. Tom, please come and say a few words.
Good evening, Malaysia. I am so thrilled to be with you here tonight for this important launch of the new eSpring. And I'm excited to share with you tonight how the new eSpring is clearly better. Woo! But before we get started, let's start with this video.
just look out there. All these people gathered here tonight are here to learn about the new eSpring. I'm sure what's on everybody's mind tonight is they would like to understand, first of all, what is the problem that we're facing? And number two, the new eSpring. Why do we need this new eSpring? And number three, will we like the new eSpring?
You'll love the new eSpring.
Please take it away. So maybe we talk about water first of all. Water is fundamental to life, fundamental to our existence. Wouldn't you agree? Yes? But what's the problem with the water that we drink, Tom?
Well, should I drink this glass of water? It looks clear. It looks purified. But you know what? There could be lead in this water. There could be pesticides, PFAS, microplastics, cysts, pharmaceuticals, and you wouldn't know because it's invisible. And what's so great about the eSpring is that it removes all these contaminants. Over 170 contaminants are removed from the new eSpring. Now you might ask yourself, I get my water from my municipality. I'm safe, they take care of me. Well, there's a lot, like Rick said, that can take place from the municipality water treatment system to your home. There's miles of pipes. Pipes have been there for years and years. They have not been upgraded. There's even pipes inside your home where contaminants could leak in. So, why would you put you and your family in danger when you could simply put a water treatment system, and why wouldn't you want to put the best water purifier on the market, the new eSpring, to protect you and your family?
Tom, tonight I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot about the eSpring, the technology that's underneath it. But before we get into that, let's lay the groundwork a little bit. Let's go back a little bit into our history, our legacy, our credibility. We've been in the market for what, 40 years?
Over 40 years.
Over 40 years. So tell us a little bit more about 40 years.
We have always focused on the science, the innovation, and we have taken a leadership role within that. We have advanced design, and we have the best level of performance, and we have independent third party that validate what we say about eSpring is true, like NSF and WQA. And as Mike said, Amway takes sustainability very seriously, and we've done everything we can to make this a more environmentally friendly product. And you'll learn more about that in just a little bit. So eSpring is the #1 home water treatment system brand in the world. We have sold 10 million units in 48 countries and territories. Because of you, the ABO. Water treatment is a $60 billion global opportunity. And as ABOs, you are delivering solutions to your customers. And with $60 billion opportunity, you know your customers are looking for clean, safe, great tasting water.
That's amazing. You know, Tom, I think the awareness is just growing and growing, and it's great that we have maintained this leadership for more than 4 decades. So after 4 decades of leadership, where does this bring us to right now?
I'm glad you asked. Because with this new eSpring, we really focused in on 3 key areas that we wanted to improve. The best and newest technology, introducing the E3 carbon filter, and the first UVC LED approved by NSF. So 2 new technologies that help take more contaminants out of your water, over 170. Secondly, we wanted to focus on improving the user experience. So how many of you in this room own an eSpring today? Like Mike said, how do you like changing your filter every year? Do you go, oh, it's that time of the year again, I gotta do that? Well, we've made this a much better filter changing process, introducing the 210 filter change process. We also have taken a stronger environmental stance on this. We have made the design. We listened to the ABO and our customers on how to improve the design. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. And then we focus on a connected experience, introducing a brand new app. How many of you own an Atmosphere Sky or Mini? How many of you love that Atmosphere app? Not so many, right? So we heard you, and we blew that one up, and we started all over with an Amway Healthy Home app, where we have the Atmosphere Sky, the Atmosphere Mini, and the new eSpring all being monitored with one app. And we knew the #1 issue was connectivity, and we took care of that. So this evening, I want to share with you how the technology is clearly better, how the user experience is clearly better, how the connected experience is clearly better. Clearly better than the current eSpring, clearly better than our competition, delivering clearly better water. You may ask yourself, why a new eSpring? Well, we have found this new technology and really developed it over the last few years, and we thought it was time to deliver that so you could have more contaminants taken out of your water. Secondly, our product's been in the market in Malaysia for 18 years. It was time to update it. We want you to have the best water purifier available. And then we've created a more robust experience with the new eSpring. So now I want to invite Yulia Park to come up and share with us how the technology is clearly better.
Everybody, please give it up for Yulia.
Thank you, Tom. It's my pleasure to be in Malaysia. It's my first time in your beautiful country. Thank you. Very welcoming. I want to share that I'm already a big fan of durian, so I might stay. So what is exciting about eSpring is the power of science and technology that Amway harnessed, the power of chemistry, and I'm a chemist by training, to create a product that is sure to delight our customers, that can deliver great tasting, healthy, safe drinking water to you and your families. Tom talked about all the wonderful features of our system, and its performance is really outstanding. We're removing the bad while keeping the good because of our combined technology. Now more than 170 contaminants, 145 of them that can impact negatively your health, while maintaining the health minerals. But you might say, how come the number of contaminants growing? Our system originally was so good. It was #1 in the market. It was leading, cutting edge. The truth is, there are emerging contaminants. Unfortunately, our environment is getting worse because we continue pollution while we develop new products, pharmaceuticals. More pharmaceuticals end up in our drinking water. And so NSF continuously bringing new test methods to test emerging contaminants. And that is why we now have more claims to remove those emerging contaminants such as PFAS, microplastics, and pharmaceuticals with our new eSpring filter.
Yulia, I'm just gonna, yeah, please. Yulia, you just mentioned about the emerging contaminants. You mentioned about microplastics, and already earlier, before Yulia came on, before Tom came on, we started seeing all these videos talking about microplastics. Hari Rama almost ate 3 credit cards. You know, this problem of microplastics, right? We keep hearing it now and then. Why is it such a big problem? And how big really is this problem, especially in Malaysia? Because, I mean, face it, you're in the land of durian, right? So you're talking to Malaysians, right? So for us, especially us in Malaysia, how big is this problem? And where do all these microplastics come from, and how does it affect us?
Yes, absolutely. Microplastics is the tiny plastic particles that end up in the environment. They're in the water, in the soil. They're less than 5 millimeters. And these microplastics, they end up in these water resources mostly because of the trash, because of the pollution with the waste products, from plastic bottle, plastic caps, unsafe manufacturing practices, and synthetic fibers. As we wear and wash our clothes, they shed off synthetic fibers that become microplastics in the environment. And they are so prevalent in the environment that it is a global problem. There is no country in the world that can avoid facing it. And scientists really sounding the alarm. Here you see the quote from Dr. Rose. She is a scientist studying global water quality in the Michigan State University. And she is really calling to industry to find innovative ways to remove microplastics from the environment and from our drinking water. Because definitely microplastics is a concern, and particularly for Malaysia. Unfortunately, Malaysia is #1 country among 109 countries that were evaluated.
Malaysia boleh ya?
Consumption of microplastics. So while I might consider staying here because it's really like a paradise with durian and flowers, this is really concerning. I would not stay here without eSpring filter in my hand. Okay? Right. And so really research was done, including the water resources in Malaysia, and scientists analyzed presence of microplastics in Malaysian water bodies, rivers. And so it's definitely representing concern. For example, finding 150,000 particles in just 1 square meter of the waterbed. That's a lot.
Julia, are you for real? You mean the Langat River?
Yes, that's what was published.
How many of you here are from, I don't know, KL, PJ, you live around here? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, that's like what, 70, 80% of us? Do you know your drinking water comes from Langat River? You know, every now and then we have water disruptions, right? Why do we get water disruptions? Pollution! Wow, correct. Yeah, that's Langat River for you, right? What type of pollution? I don't know lah, but at least this research we can see very clearly, oh my goodness, 150,000 pieces of microplastic sitting on the riverbed of where your water comes from. And that's just 1 square meter. How big is the Langat River? And what about the microplastics that's actually floating in the water? Man, this is scary. If this is not scary, I don't know what is. Now I understand why three credit cards, you know. Please, Julia, please carry on.
Yes, so as I mentioned, it is a global issue, and World Health Organization is bringing awareness to consumers to try to avoid microplastics. And you might be wondering, why so scary about microplastics? I think Mike already introduced to you some concerns with health risks that microplastics might bring. They might accumulate in your bodies. They would cause inflammation because really your body cannot digest this. So your body becomes, like Mike said, a filter. It just accumulates this microplastics inside. It cannot function well. And it eventually causes aging, inflammation, I'm sure you heard about. And so microplastics are definitely a health concern for all of us.
Okay, so besides microplastics, I'm also beginning to see, that there are pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about what pharmaceuticals are, where they come from? Is it our fault? Did we put those chemicals into the water?
Yeah, unfortunately, to some extent, it is our fault. So our emerging contaminants, the pharmaceuticals, as we develop our medicine, as we develop more medicine to live longer, healthier, to manage our health conditions, we unfortunately might end up with more pharmaceuticals in our water bodies. Unsafe manufacturing practices and just consumers excreting. They cannot digest these pharmaceuticals, so they excrete these pharmaceuticals get in the wastewater. Also, sometimes consumers, when you have a bottle of pills left and you don't know what to do with that and you cannot recycle them as your plastic bottle where your pills were, you might flush them down the toilet, and then guess where they end up? They end up in your water source.
I think I'm guilty of that as well. Because I've got kids, right? When your kids fall sick, you bring them to the doctor. What kind of medicine do you get?
Liquid?
Do you get tablets or do you get liquid? You get liquid, right? You got this fever medication, you have this small little plastic cup, and you pour into the plastic cup, it measures either 5 milliliter or 7.5 milliliter, depending on how old your kid is, right? Go on now. Yes, right? Right. So they drink, right? After they drink, what do you do? Wash, clean, pour. That's your antibiotics going into your water lah. So we are all guilty, my friends. Sorry. That's why you need to buy eSpring.
Right. So I think we all, at this point, sufficiently aware that there is a concern about the contaminants in our water, such as microplastics and PFAS. I'm sure you all hear in the news about that, and in addition, pharmaceuticals. So I think we're all ready for a solution finally, right?
Yeah.
Like for a happy part of our story. So let's cue the next video, I think.
Wow, Yulia, when I first saw the new eSpring, Yulia, the first thing that jumped out at me is that it looks different from the current eSpring, right? What I can see is that the new eSpring seems to have two major parts to it, two sides, kind of like a left and a right. So what's really happening inside the new eSpring?
Yes, absolutely. You all noticed our beautiful design, and this design is actually allowed because of the new technology. You heard Tom talking about UVC LED. You're all familiar with how efficient and long-lasting LEDs are. UVC LED now lasts 10 years. 10 years! And we have warranty 5 years, Tom, I think?
Yes, we
and
do.
For 5 years, you have absolute warranty on the system. So now, every year when you need to change your carbon filter, there is no lamp to throw away. There is minimized electrical waste. And so instead of being chubby, one part of the system is this UV LED, and another one is your carbon block. And I think the design of this system is so elegant now. Don't you guys think it's really cute? It's beautiful? Yeah. So now it fits much more comfortably and really makes your kitchen more beautiful. So less electrical waste, beautiful design, and also improved filter change process. And Tom will walk you through that. So I will walk you through the details and the technology inside this filter. But before that, I think we're gonna quickly watch another video about it, and then I'll unpack it for you. Yeah. All right. So new E3 carbon filter. There is your 3 E's again. I think you'll repeat 3 E's and clearly better after listening to our presentation. So 3 filters actually combine together into E3 carbon block filter to deliver superior performance. They're designed to work together as a team to work longer, better for you. First layer is pre-filter. Very important. It prepares water and removes the large particles such as dirt, silt, rust. Anybody has rusty water pipes? I'm sure you all changed your water filter, right, in our current eSpring and saw how dirty this surface can be. And now this pre-filter included in all markets, because really all markets have a risk of having all dirty pipes and their influent water not being great. So this pre-filter, working on the size exclusion principle, kind of looks like a mesh of web. It removes all these large particles and prepares water for layer 2, which is Defense Guard. Defense Guard is the innovative layer in our filter. We did not have Defense Guard before. So even if you remove your pre-filter on your original system, you see this white material, and you think, well, now it looks white material as well. It's not the same material. New Defense Guard is combined 2 layers of high-performing delicate membrane and protective support layer. Actually, this new Defense Guard brought new claim to our eSpring filter, removing microplastics and removing cysts. No microplastics in our eSpring water. So we wonder, what is cyst? Cyst is like a package. Your bacteria packs itself in a cyst to survive harsh environment. So it's kind of difficult to destroy them. Now we remove these cysts from the water altogether. They cannot pass through the Defense Guard because of their size. And we actually conducted this testing with NSF. So it's a certified claim. And finally, in the heart of our E3 filter is the carbon block. Carbon block is made of the carbon, activated carbon, a dash of special ingredient. I've heard there are only like 3 people in the whole company knows what it is, and the binding polymer. We have special production system and facility I'll show you in a moment. but it really works on 4 principles, harnessing the power of chemistry, adsorption, absorption, size exclusion, and chemisorption to reduce 170 contaminants. All right. And our total particle reduction on the E3 filter is 0.2 micron. 0.2 micron particle reduction. So our carbon block is made of coconut shells that are burned and then activated with high steam. So the same process that we use in our current filter. Then it is pressed into the block, and the activation process when we steam the carbon is when the pores are created. The surface is what makes our carbon high performing. The surface of our carbon filter in the pores is so large it can encircle in 1 centimeter strip Earth. And on this surface is where contaminants land and they get trapped. Large contaminants get trapped in the large pores, such as pharmaceuticals. Small contaminants like volatile organic compounds get trapped into small pores. So our carbon and 2 pre-filter stages work together to deliver exceptional performance. Right, and at the same time, you might wonder, okay, well, 170 contaminants, probably nothing left in this water. Actually, in our eSpring water, we retain beneficial minerals. There are some methods that remove everything from the water, including minerals, like metals and calcium, magnesium, so the water tastes flat. Some markets call it dead water. Then the competitors add a dash of calcium, magnesium, or sodium to make it palatable. But really, they are missing on these microelements like selenium, zinc, that altogether provide complex health properties of our water that are so important for DNA repair, for your immunity. Right, and now that we talked about this part of our filter, we're gonna move to the UVC LEDs. Another amazing innovation. So long life, less electric waste. I think Mike already mentioned 25% less energy use. And it still delivers superior performance, killing virtually all bacteria and cysts in your water. Let's watch a video. Oh, hold on. Where is my video? I thought there was a video.
No, Julia.
Let me just track back for a second and tell you more about UVC LEDs.
Yeah, exactly. Because just now, as you were skipping through, I saw some colors, you know, that like a rainbow.
There we
That just
go.
immediately caught my eye. So I just wanted to hear more about that. You guys want to hear more about UVC? Yeah, LED? Yeah. Cool.
Exactly. You might be all familiar with LEDs, and you're like, all around LEDs, but UVC LEDs is the new technology. We discovered and tested it to prove that it's effective and it can serve our need, and then design the system around this technology. Also, did you notice in the video that this technology was first system with UVC LEDs certified by NSF for Class B microbial reduction? The first in the world. And in fact, NSF went even further. Because this technology is so new, their standard did not include UVC's LEDs. They're like, well, LEDs don't kill bacteria. They tested and they proved that now this technology can kill bacteria, and very effectively, in our system. So UV is the short wavelength side of spectrum, shorter than visible light. UVA is present in sunlight and it produces tan. UVB causes cancer, and that's why we recommend you to use broad spectrum SPF. UVC is even shorter, which means it has even higher energy, and that's why it kills bacteria in your water. And you're wondering, how does UV kill bacteria? Well, the same way it's causing cancer in your skin, right? It destroys DNA and RNA, so these bacteria cannot reproduce. It essentially kills them. It stops their life cycle. And so now your water is safe. It does not have any bacteria that are viable. All right. I think it's super exciting.
Yulia, if I could just stop you for a moment, you mentioned that the UVC is actually dangerous for us.
Correct. And
So-
that is why this UVC part of the filter is closed. So please do not try opening it, checking it, plugging it open, and maintaining. Call customer support. If you see any indicator that your UVC needs to be replaced, call customer support.
So whenever we are actually changing the E3 carbon filter block, we are not actually exposing ourselves in any way?
Absolutely. Because
Perfectly
we
safe,
completely
right?
separate it left and right. So when you're changing carbon filter, there is no possible exposure to UV. And remember, UV is not visible to your eyes. Right? So in our videos, when we do demonstration, it's a light just to show us how things work, right? But UV will not be able to see. And that is why it's very important to keep you safe.
Thank you.
All right. All right, I think we talked a little bit more about advantages of UVC. And so compared to our current system, really, here, Amway is the stewards of the environment. As we know about this new technology, we want to bring the best. We want to be good for the environment while providing clean drinking water. And that is why we're bringing this technology that eliminates electrical waste every time you're changing carbon filter. All right.
All right,
I think we watched
so I get it now. There's one part of it is the E3 carbon block filter, and on the other side is the UVC LED. The first one is to filter out all the contaminants, and the second part is to basically kill all those microorganisms that's in the water, right?
Perfect.
All right, so let me get this straight. I remember growing up, I used to see my grandparents boil their filtered water, right, in a kettle, right? And then when it boils, it'll make this whistling sound and all that. Of course, we all know why. It's to basically kill all the germs in the water. So are you telling me right now that with this combination of two technologies, we no longer actually need to boil our filtered eSpring water?
Tria, bingo. You nailed it.
Wow,
You
I'm
really
smart now.
got the gist of our presentation.
No need to boil water, guys!
Yes. Exactly. Clean, safe drinking water on demand. You don't have to go to the store and buy bulky bottles. You can get your water straight away, very quickly.
And so what else can you tell us about the technology, the innovation that's in the eSpring?
Yes, a few more things about technology. First of all, RFID. So now RFID tag is located right on top of the filter, and so you don't have to worry about the orientation. So this counterfeit feature is very easily detected and also very hard to remove. And two, the new diverter. Now, new diverter is created from new material that prevents cracking and discoloration to serve longer for you. It also has ceramic discs, so instant shut off. And I think we have a video about that, if you guys want to see.
You know, Yulia, the technology sounds great, right? Right now, what we're getting from this new eSpring is basically instant on, clean, safe, and healthy drinking water, right? But you know, anybody can make claims about their own products. Do we have any third-party endorsements that say that our new eSpring is indeed as good as we say it is?
Indeed. Indeed we have. And we do very rigorous testing. Honestly, I think we have probably the largest number of claims with NSF than any other company. I'm sure you all got from the Rick's presentation the rigor that NSF puts in it, and also the confidence that you can have if there is NSF logo. They are really independent certified. They are not serving only industry. They are serving consumers. They are concerned about consumer health. And this certification by NSF, it really means a lot. Also being in regulatory, I can tell you that it is very difficult to renew these certifications every 5 years. Every year, we invest in testing, in annual NSF audit of our facilities. And so this NSF certification really means a lot. We are certified to all 4 NSF standards. And in these NSF standards, each standard has several claims, several contaminants under it. It is sufficient to certify to one, to claim that you are certified to this standard. However, Amway goes above and beyond. We have several contaminants, several parameters evaluated under each of the 4 standards. Standard 42 talks about aesthetical contaminants and looks at water taste, odor, and appearance. Standard 53, talking about health contaminants such as lead and chloroform, volatile organic compounds. Standard 401, the emerging contaminants. And Amway is certified to 19 emerging contaminants, to virtually all of them, and more, in fact. Those contaminants that are not included in the standard yet, that we already testing and certifying. And standard 55, that's my favorite, because this is the standard that is a must-have on any UV treatment water system. And you would be so pleased to hear that Amway was the first system to be certified for UVC LED Class B in Standard 55. This is a standard that NSF had to update because we partnered with them and we proved that UVC LEDs are working. Let's watch a video about NSF.
NSF was founded over 75 years ago, and since that time we've become the leading global provider of product certification and development of product standards for products that are related to human health. Contaminants in water can cause a wide range of illnesses, from heavy metal poisoning to bacterial or viral infections. NSF's mission is to protect and improve global human and planet health. When we certify point-of-use treatment systems, there's 3 main ways that we test those products. One is to test the materials of construction. The other thing we do is test the product for durability. And then finally, we do contaminant reduction testing and verify that they remove the contaminants that the manufacturer claims they will remove. Over the last 40 years, NSF has certified many products for Amway. What's unique about the eSpring water purifier is the UVC LED technology with activated carbon to remove a wide range of contaminants from drinking water. Amway is actually the first manufacturer that NSF has certified a UVC LED system to Class B of NSF Standard 55. If you see the NSF mark on a product, you can be assured that it has been certified by NSF to remove harmful contaminants from drinking water.
All right, we also have this gold seal on our system, just as on our original system. Our new system has the gold seal from the Water Quality Association. It's the association of the industry that looks at the betterment of the water quality. And Amway also has to certify and earn this gold seal from WQA. Let's watch a quick video about WQA now.
The Water Quality Association and Amway have been working together for decades. We're a resource and a tool for the betterment of water quality. There are things in the water that really could have impact on you within hours of drinking it. Having a home water treatment system really gives that power to add a layer of protection for your family or your friends, or it could be in your business as well. The Water Quality Association's Gold Seal product certification is a rigorous process that takes products through testing and certification, from the claims that they're going to make all the way to the manufacturing and literature that they have. The new eSpring water purifier has recently received and been granted WQA's Gold Seal of approval. That is an achievement to be celebrated.
Now, Chuya, I have a question.
You have a question for me?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever been at a product launch that had so many amazing videos, including the trailer? Have you guys been to any product launch with so many videos? No? No. So kudos to Tom and our marketing team who delivered this amazing content and material. You will have access to it to share this story with your customers. It will be available to you. Yeah.
Yulia, I'm convinced by now, and I think we're all convinced by now, the eSpring works. We've got all 4 NSF NZ standards. We've got the WQA Gold Leaf.
We're also halal certified in Malaysia.
Halal certified.
For those consumers that find it important.
It's obviously an innovative product, but what about the reliability of the product? Will it last long?
That's a very good question. And we have a video about that. But I want to tell you that when Tom talked about the development of our system over years, we start from evaluating technology and reliability of this technology. And right now, even though we launched eSpring in all markets, you might think, well, your work is done. You already made the system. It's working, certified, all great. Actually, no. We continue testing right now in Ada. There is a lab that runs 24/7 tests on our system to identify any issues, to make any changes, to have full confidence in its performance. And I'd like you to share a video with you guys about this amazing facility.
Hi, I'm Jeff Shoemate, Amway Durables Product Development Manager. I'm also one of the new eSpring expert speakers. We get a lot of questions about the reliability and performance of the new eSpring water purifier. So today, I've asked Amway Reliability Lab Manager Gordon Penninga to give us a behind-the-scenes tour of this area. Let's see the many ways we tested the new eSpring water purifier for superior performance and reliability. The ambient life test speeds up a year in the life of the new eSpring unit, including the E3 carbon filter's flow volume over its expected 1-year lifespan. We also test the unit's on-off and water flow functions for more than 500 hours in on mode, the equivalent of 10 years of life. In the environmental chambers, we test the unit operation from the lowest humidity levels to the highest. our dispense cart tests the new eSpring diverter and auxiliary faucet. The motors here rotate the handles through up to 52,000 on-off cycles to ensure superior long-life performance. Every test run in this lab is meant to simulate the actual user experience throughout the life of the new eSpring water purifier. We run these lifetime simulation tests in all known power grid and water pressure conditions, and in weather conditions from tropical to winter environments. Our goal is to find and fix problems so the customer never has them. Seeing is believing, right? For proven reliability and performance, the new eSpring water purifier is clearly better.
Clearly better. Woo! Did you hear 52,000 on-off cycles? 52,000.
And it can last up to 10 years, right? That's what the video said.
Exactly.
Amazing. Let's give the new eSpring a hand. One more hand. And let's give Julia a hand. And right now we're going to bring Tom up again. And now we're going to get into the next section. All right. So Tom, we've talked about the eSpring. It's great. The technology is wonderful. Now tell us about the user experience. What's it like to own a new unit of this new eSpring? And what else does it come with?
Okay. As I shared with you earlier, one of our key focuses was improving the user experience. And we know one of the pain points was changing your cartridge every year. So we really worked on that, and we've developed the brand new 210 filter change process. That means 2 minutes, once a year, 0 tools. And I'm going to play a video for you of someone with a current eSpring versus a new eSpring and what the difference is. Okay, I don't want you to just take it from me. I don't want you to just take it from the video. Charlie and Linda, please come on up. I'm inviting Charlie to show us how to change the filter in less than 2 minutes. You watched the video closely, right? You're ready to do this? Are you sure? Do we have a timer? Mike, do you have a timer? Yeah, let's time this. We'll have one. You're good. Oh, get started now. Okay. Now you've ordered your new eSpring replacement filter, drop it in. Charlie, can you twist and turn that for us? Make sure that it goes in there. All right. Is that an improved experience?
Very fast. Yes, very easy.
Thank you very much for coming up. Okay, it wasn't just a filter change process that we enhanced. We took feedback and research and improved the look. So we heard that the blue light was a little bit too bright. So what we did was we redesigned it and made it so it could blend into any kitchen decor. As you can see, this can fit into any kitchen, right? No matter what the decoration. Secondly, we wanted it to take less space. We know that the kitchen counter is valuable real estate. And so we were able to redesign it so it takes 16% less space on your counter. And you notice it can go flat against the wall because we've changed how we do the tubing. It's down below. And then also we found out that people didn't like that blue light on all the time, so the lights that indicate filter life, E3 carbon filter, the UVC, and the connected only come on when water's running through it. So we've listened to the ABOs and their customers, and we've enhanced the new eSpring. We're quickly going to go through the lights that come on. So when it turns yellow, E3 carbon filter, that means you have 10% life left, and it's important to go place your order for a replacement filter right from your Amway Healthy Home app. Secondly, you have a UVC LED here. That goes yellow at 1% life left because you have 500 hours, 10 years. 1% will give you several months to get that taken care of at a service center. And then thirdly, you have the connected experience. Ideally, you want all three lights to be blue. That means everything's functioning and it's connected. So we've heard about how the technology is clearly better, how the user experience is clearly better. Now we're going to go about how the connected experience is clearly better. Amway Healthy Home app. I'm going to play a video for you right now. Okay, it's very important with your new Amway Healthy Home app that you stay connected with your unit. There's several reasons why you want to do this, and it's to get real-time filter status, usage stats. You also want to be connected because just like your Android phone or your iPhone, we will be sending firmware updates to make sure that your unit is optimized. Very important to keep your unit connected. And we have designed this new Amway Healthy Home with Android-specific and iPhone-specific experiences. So right here are QR codes. This will download the app to the App Store so you can get it for yourself. Anyone want to get a phone out and take a picture? Okay. Now, there's a lot of convenient features. We've really optimized the experience through the app. There's going to be resources on this app. In fact, one thing I didn't share with you to make the experience better is we found out that people don't read user manuals, right? We like to be visual learners, like going to YouTube. So what we've created is many how-to videos, how to install your unit, how to maintain your unit, how to store your unit, how to move your unit, all kinds of videos, and they will all be on the app. And you know those contaminants that we say we're taking out? We have the performance data sheet right on a resource page on the app. We also have, you can order your filters, and then there's one-click registration. Here's a sample of one of the how-to videos, how to connect your unit and register it. One more thing I want to share with you before we move on is we saw the mini model, right? This is a sales tool that we created for the ABO to assist with selling it to customers. And there is a QR code on the back to also help you. It is a digital presentation to help you share the story of eSpring. We've created all these videos, we've created these resources to help you more easily tell the story of the new eSpring. And when you get home, I want you to visit eSpring.com. Can you say it for me? eSpring.com. Use it. It will help you sell the new eSpring. Now, for those who have an Atmosphere Sky and Mini, we have some communication that we've done and want to share with you how we're converting you to the Amway Healthy Home app. Well, in past tense, so July 1, we informed you that there's going to be a change. August 1, we informed you that we're going to be removing it from the stores so you can no longer download the Atmosphere Connect app. We will dismiss in-app pop-ups and we will warn users that you need to change over. As long as you're connected to Wi-Fi, all your settings and everything will transition over to the Amway Healthy Home app to make it as seamless as possible. And September 1, you won't be able to use it. So download your new Amway Healthy Home app today. So in summary, Yulia, why don't you join me? In summary,
Of course.
hopefully you've seen clearly better technology, clearly better user experience, clearly better connected experience, delivering superior performance with the new eSpring, lower maintenance with the new eSpring, improved user experience with the new eSpring, and more environmentally friendly with the new eSpring.
I feel like we did almost impossible, Tom. We had #1 water purification system in the world, and we made it clearly better for you.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, this brings our segment to a close. And how do you feel about the new eSpring?
Clearly better!
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give Tom and Yulia one more round of applause. If you think they did the great job, once more, let's thank Tom and Yulia. Thank you.
Thank you so much once again to Tom and Yulia for that eye-opening presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget a round of applause to Chu Yao as the moderator. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the cartridge replacement, oh my God, it changes the game. I don't need my best friend Junie anymore. I can do this by myself. And also, ladies and gentlemen, you know, in a typical Asian family, in our family, when you are not feeling well, when you are feeling sick, what would your mother say to you? Drink more water lah. So ladies and gentlemen, from this very moment onwards, do not say that anymore. You're asking your kids to drink plastic. So we should say, drink more. That's right, drink more eSpring water. So ladies and gentlemen, clearly better, and we are simply the best. Make some noise once again to the new eSpring, ladies and gentlemen. And next, we have an exciting session for all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Our next speaker is a medical doctor and a member of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. Well, he's not only a successful executive diamond, but also a motivator and inspiring leader. Please join me to welcome Executive Diamond, Dr. Ignatius. Give it up, come on!
thank you. I didn't know I was speaking. I was just sitting there and suddenly I saw my twin brother's photo here, you know. So he always gets me in trouble. You know what's the best part about this business? Is hope. One is helping other people every day, H-O-P-E. But the next part of the business is there's always something better tomorrow. There is no business there's something better tomorrow. Just like today. Don't you agree? Today is so awesome that we have a launch of a new eSpring. And if those of you who didn't attend, you're watching on Zoom, the next one is in 18 years' time. That is 2042. Why didn't you come today? So anyway, water is a driving force of all nature. Leonardo da Vinci said that, you know. So, I want to talk about water in health and disease. I'm not going to be very medical, but give you just enough so that you are effective in the marketplace. NCDs. This is the state of the nation. NCDs means non-communicable diseases. That means diseases that you can't catch from someone, but you can. That means if somebody has tuberculosis, you can get tuberculosis because it's communicable. So this is the state of Malaysia. So let me just put it in simple terms. That means 50% of Malaysia, whether this half or this half, are obese. Today, after the expert speakers, I know why. We eat plastics. That's why we are obese and overweight. 40% of high cholesterol, 30% high blood pressure, and 20% diabetes. But look at the last line. 15% of Malaysians have CKD, chronic kidney disease. That is 5 million people. But worldwide, we only sold 10 million eSpring. We got a lot of work to do in Malaysia. There are 5 million people who are preparing for dialysis. That's scary, eh? If there's 2,000 people in this room, there are 300 of you with chronic kidney disease and you don't even know it. That's why we are in a people of helping other people every day. Hope. You must get fired up that you are in a real business that we can make real change in people. I, as a doctor, I'm still a doctor, but I find that I'm more effective helping people in this business than sitting in a clinic giving pharmaceuticals. In the 18th to 19th century, there was what we call the germ theory of disease. That means all diseases was due to a germ. We had leprosy, malaria, tuberculosis, name it. That means if somebody was sick, it was a germ, which was true then. But today, there's a shift in disease pattern. You think about it, who was the last person you knew died of malaria or tuberculosis? No, today, we hear people die from non-communicable disease. And this is because diseases today are caused by poor nutrition and environmental toxins. That is the biggest cause of disease today. If you can eliminate these two things in your life, you are going to live very long. Imagine in your body you have two filters. Even our car we have filters, okay? So we have the lung, and we have the kidneys. So the question I ask people is, when you open the tap, do you think the water that comes out is really clean? That's a question I want to ask people. You know, they had a poll in Malaysia Kini, online magazine. 87% of people, they say, I will drink from the tap. Okay? So as a medical student, one of our training was, we used to go and visit the municipal water treatment plant. And this is the same system in Australia, USA, and many countries. So I always tell people, do you know how water comes to your house? You know, we go to the wall, we just turn the tap, water comes out. Did it come from the wall? So a lot of people don't know how raw water is treated. So as a medical student, we used to visit and and say, oh, this is how this river water becomes tap water. Okay? So basically, the raw water goes through, they have this coagulation, sedimentation, filtration. Basically, it's just like a physical filtration. And the last part, they add chlorine gas. Why? To kill bacteria and viruses. That's why we have to chlorinate the water. And this system cannot remove chemicals. That's why every now and then in Selangor, you have a water cut. Because if there was a diesel pollution, this system can't remove diesel. Do you understand? If this was a eSpring, you won't have a water cut. But because every time there's a chemical pollution, they shut down the system. Because this system is only designed to filter clean, raw water from upstream in a river. That means an ideal situation. But most situation is not ideal. So the problem today in most countries, number one, water treatment plant is located downstream. I personally have gone up the river to see where the river source is and all that, okay? So problem number one, contamination at source. This is a real newspaper article. Do you know what's happening in this picture? Okay, I put an arrow because I know laser pointer doesn't work. This is where water is taken in to be filtered for you to drink in Selangor. So they have a net. They have a net where the arrow is to stop plastics from clogging up the intake pipe. And this person is collecting the plastic to sell it as, So, but imagine there, if you look carefully, there's a dead cat there. Probably a dead dog. And you are drinking that juice filtered and sent to your house. No, that's a reality. Do you think the municipal water treatment system has the technology to remove dead dog juice? That's a new NSF standard. So, this is Sungai Batu in Selangor. Sungai Pinang in Penang. Why do they have these boom gates? Because they don't want to clog up the intake pipe, okay? This is the macroplastics. The micro came from the macro. You are at fault. This is the real situation. If you look at this, there's even, do you see that fan? You know the fan? Your oscillating fan, the cover is there. It's like, who is the fella that threw? Anybody here? Please honor. This is the state of our river. And number two, after the water is filtered, like what Rick shared, the water is sort of clean, but then it has to be stored in a tank or goes through pipes. And this is the state of the pipes. These are all Malaysian pipes. Look at the tank at the bottom there. If you live in a condominium, they have these tanks, correct? Pay a visit. Look at the mud there. You can have a mud bath inside. So, we have to accept the fact that the water that comes through the pipe is no more safe. We are actually a fish. Our human body our lung is 83% water. Your brain and heart is 73% water. Your skin, 64% water. Ladies, you want nicer skin? Drink more water. No, really. Because you don't need to go for Botox, Retox, or nothing. Just drink more water. Your muscles is 79% water. You want bigger muscles? Drink more water. No need to go gym. Even your bones is 31% water. That means our body, we are like a fish. So I tell people, is your water making you sick? If you have an aquarium at home and you have fishes that are sickly, what is the first thing you do? Change the water. But what do? See the doctor. So I tell people, if your water is making you sick and you don't realize it, drugs will not cure you. Change your water. I want to share with you the science fiction of water, because out there, people are confused. They don't know. We know we need clean water, but we don't know what water treatment system to buy. So I tell people, let me share with you the science fiction of water. So first I want to discuss about RO water. RO water is a very good water treatment system. That means in certain areas, they can clean water very efficiently. But you must know what is the application for RO water. So basically, you have a high pressure system, you have a membrane, and then the water is pushed to the high pressure system, and all the impurities on one side, okay? So it has its advantages and disadvantages. So basically, RO water is like empty water. There's no beneficial minerals, okay? If you read this article by World Health Organization, it talks about the health risks from drinking demineralized water. I'll just go very fast. So they talk about the dangers of drinking water which is empty, either distilled water or RO water. So if you read here, underline in red, it talks about hyponatremic shock, okay? That means when you ingest water which is low mineral, and they talk about a more severe cause of such condition coupled with brain edema, convulsion means like epilepsy, and metabolic acidosis was reported in infants whose drinks had been prepared with distilled or low mineral bottled water. That means if you have babies and you mix their milk with RO water, then at night your baby has an epileptic episode, you take to the clinic, they're going to say, oh, you're having fever, let's put this paracetamol in the butt. Correct. They will never link it to actually drinking demineralized water. And there was a study among Russian population. They say low mineral drinking water may be a risk factor for high blood pressure, heart disease, gastric and duodenal ulcers. How many of you are having gastric and duodenal ulcers because you're drinking RO water? You don't know. That's why I say, if you are sick, change your water. And then they say several complications in newborn, infants, jaundice, anemia, fractures, and growth disorders. Here's a study in Western India. Association of vitamin B12 deficiency and use of reverse osmosis processed water. Okay, so basically what the study says is, most important finding of the study was independent association of use of RO processed drinking water and B12 deficiency. Do you know if you have B12 deficiency, you can have psychiatric symptoms. You can have nerve disorders, you can have weakness of your leg. B12 is a very important vitamin. So people who drink RO water have a chance of having B12 deficiency. Okay, now, so I will not touch RO water. Okay, next is alkaline water. They always promote alkaline water as, you know, wow, this will cure cancer. Okay, so what is alkaline water? Alkaline water has a pH more than 7, say 7.2, 7.3. Okay, in nature, water is alkaline. That means if you have a spring water, Evian water, Fiji water, it's alkaline because there is presence of natural minerals, calcium, potassium, magnesium, and then even bicarbonates, okay? And this is actually mineral water. It's very slightly alkaline. According to FD, the FDA requires mineral water to come from an underground source, and the water must contain at least 250 parts per million of dissolved minerals. So then we can call it mineral water. So technically, the real mineral water is actually alkaline. So that's no problem. But to shortcut the process, if I'm a manufacturer, I can make cheap alkaline water with a process called electrolysis. That means with electricity, I can make Frankenstein, something like that, you know. I can make alkaline water because alkaline water is what people want. But there is a big difference. Okay? Because, okay, before that, they say, because those people who say alkaline water is good, they tell you, oh, acid is bad. You know, acid, you know, like Alien. You know the movie, The Aliens, the green stuff comes out and melts the metal, okay? So acid is bad. An acidic environment causes cancer. How many of you heard this? If somebody has cancer in your family, somebody will come and try to sell them alkaline water, I'm telling you. Okay? So, I asked these well-educated people, if acid is bad, why is it in our body we got nucleic acid? We got amino acid. We got lactic acid. We got hydrochloric acid in the stomach. And we got fatty acid. I said, what's your problem? My body is acid, what's your problem? You mean my DNA, something wrong with my DNA because it's acidic? Our stomach is acid. That is the natural state. Do you know your skin is acid? Do you know RTC skincare, the cleanser, is mildly acidic? If you use soap, which is alkali, you will change the pH, change the microbiome in the skin, you will get acne and dry skin. Ah, you see, now got RTC training also. Your large intestine is acid. So, why is your stomach acid? To digest food, to kill the bacteria, viruses, and cysts. You know the good bacteria, lactobacillus, acidophilus. You know what it means? It's a Latin word. Milk bacteria that loves acid. Lacto, milk. Bacillus, bacteria. Acid, philia. Philia is love. So if I take yogurt, lactobacillus, acidophilus, and my stomach is alkaline water, the bacteria dies because it loves acid. And acid is necessary to absorb minerals like iron, calcium, magnesium, zinc. There is a reason our stomach is acid. Don't go and change your physiological environment. Okay? So, alkaline water, where there is alkaline water generators, they use electricity. But in nature, the water is alkaline due to the presence of minerals. It's two different things. And this is what you must challenge people who tell you the lie. Alkaline water is anti-cancer, acid is bad. Challenge them with science. So, when you artificially drink alkaline water, you can get acid reflux. Do you know scientifically, someone who got reflux, they must take more acid, not less acid. That means you got people who got acid reflux, it's actually because their stomach is not acid. So, and these people go and take antacid, it worsens it. They got bloating, they got gas, prone to infection, because the acid doesn't kill the bad bacteria. Okay, you can even get abnormal heart rhythm. Okay, hair loss. So these are things you have to understand. But natural water with naturally present minerals like calcium, magnesium, like our eSpring, they have positive health effects. Okay, so both are, one is natural, one is artificial. So I always tell people, sometimes I ask people, do you have a eSpring water, you have a water filter? They say, oh no doctor, we boil water. I say, why do you boil water? Kill the bacteria. I say, if I put a drop of ink in the water, if you boil it, what happens to the ink? I put poison in a glass of water, you boil it. Will the poison just disappear? So that's why it's a waste of time boiling water. It's a total waste of time. Even in the hospital, we do not boil our instruments because boiling doesn't do anything. You just feel good because your grandmother used to do it. If you see anybody boiling water, you say, got nothing better to do. Go and show the plan, show the demo. So anybody here not having the eSpring, don't put up your hand. This is what's happening to in your house, you got the e-kidney filter. I created this graphic because some people won't understand, okay? So that is a diverter valve that connects to the kidney. It's a new SKU. Amway is going to have it, okay? So since you don't have a water filter, you drink straight from the tap or boil it, basically your kidney, just imagine you took out a kidney and it's filtering your water. Or your mother-in-law's kidney is filtering it. Or your children's kidney is filtering the water. So why do you use a kidney filter? You only got one. I mean, you got a pair. There's no indicator to change it. So when you choose a water filter, what are the contaminants? I tell people, just like when you buy a car, what is your requirement? You want a weekday car, you want a holiday car, you want to go up the mountain car. There is a requirement. So if I want to buy a water treatment system, these are the contaminants I want to remove. Previously, just silt, sand, pipe scale like physical, chemical, biological. But now in the 21st century, we got microplastics and drugs. So eSpring is built for the future. Correct. I tell you what, so let's go some of the important things I talk to people. Our pipes, just like in USA, is lead pipes. And it's thousands of kilometers, impossible to change everything overnight. So the lead leaches into the water and you're going to get it in your water, whether it's purified or whatever, it's going to come to your house, okay? So lead is very hazardous. It's even linked to ADHD, autism, okay? Children and pregnant women are most at risk. You don't want lead. And chlorine. Our tap water has chlorine because that is the default sterilization technique. And studies have shown, and this is the report from the US Council on Environmental Quality, they say the cancer risk for people who drink chlorinated water is 93% higher than those whose water does not contain chlorine. And eSpring removes chlorine. That's why the water tastes so pleasant, so nice, okay? You don't have to drink swimming pool water. You know when you go to the swimming pool, what do you drink? Chlorine, correct. So we have gone through microplastics. So what actually happens, all the plastics that we have, and this is the electron microscopy, when plastics in the environment, in the river, when they are exposed to natural sunlight, they break down. So as you can see, like, you know, it's breaking down and they dissolve into the water systems. That's why whatever you have, plastics, clothing, you know, all these eventually break down due to the effect of sunlight and you get microplastics. So, and these are the effect. And how do you get microplastic? Even inhalation. So you must have an atmosphere sky in your house. Okay, ingestion, even through dermal contact. Okay, that's how small microplastic is, and it disrupts a lot of our physiological functions. Okay, so the good news I tell people, eSpring removes all these microplastics, so I don't have to worry. Okay, and the next emerging contaminant that I'm concerned, I mean, as a doctor, when I see the pharmaceuticals in the water, it's very scary. How do you get this? Because even in farming, we use antibiotics, correct? So we give the antibiotics to the cow, to the goat, to the chicken. So the cow's chicken have to poo and pee. When the rain comes, the antibiotic get washed in the river. And I showed you the river, that's not correct? And the water is going to go through the municipal water treatment system that doesn't remove pharmaceuticals. Okay, and then, so there are many sources of human pharmaceutical and livestock pharmaceutical. So it's a given. Your water, there is drugs. So this is a study in a European Union, because we don't have data for Malaysia. So they studied how many pharmaceuticals were found in the different EU nations. Okay, so you look, the red zones got between 100 to 200 different pharmaceuticals in their water. It's incredible. Malaysia, boleh, we are number one. I think we got more, okay? So, I tell people, if I got a clinic, so I imagine I'm at a clinic, and Rick Andrews come and say, doctor, I got a headache. I say, Rick, go and drink tap water. You get your drug ready. Anybody got high blood pressure? Just drink tap water. Got diabetes, drink tap water. Because all the medicine in the water, free. Yeah. So doctor's job very easy. Any sickness, drink tap water. One antibiotic, drink tap water. So headache, drink tap water. So the new eSpring is certified. Of course, it can remove more. This is the 19 key. Look at it, blood pressure, estrogen, painkiller, CD. Oh, cannot sleep, drink tap water. Okay? Epilepsy, drink tap water. Anybody epilepsy? Okay? Birth control. No wonder some people can't get pregnant. Already your tap water got birth control pill? See, new market, Oh, now, those people no children, you're going to go and promote eSpring to them, okay? Look at that, cocaine. No wonder you tell your ABO come for meeting this year. They are drugged, they are on cocaine. Bro. And look at the amount of estrogen. That's why today all the men looking Korean. Hello. Even insecticide. So you got mosquito, you spray water your tap water. Tap water solves all the problem of the world. Next, microbiological contamination. I'll just give you some example. Do you know, last week, there was a sports competition in Johor Bahru, in Lakin. You read about it? So there was a school meet, and 19 students who were swimming in the pool had diarrhea, stomachache, cramps, and it was E. coli, a bacteria that is found in water. I mean, they're just swimming in the water, they're not even drinking it. And they got infected, 19 of them, and they shut down the swimming pool. So what are some of the important microbiological contamination? I tell you, if you have kids, if you don't have eSpring, you should be jailed. Because do you know the suffering a child goes through when they have diarrhea? It is very stressful to see a child having diarrhea. The colic pain, the dehydration, they cannot take food. I tell you, when our boys were growing up, they never had diarrhea. The word is never. If you have kids, can you say, my kids never had diarrhea? That's my Michael Jackson move. Can you say that confidently? But I tell you, if you use eSpring, you prepare their milk, prepare their drink with eSpring water, they will never have diarrhea. One of the commonest cause of diarrhea, if your child has diarrhea, is called rotavirus. And this is one of the commonest. And they say everybody, every one of us here would have had a rotavirus episode while we were growing up. They say 111 million cases. We only sold 10 million eSpring. We got a lot of work to do, okay? And they say there are 440,000 children who die. 1 in 60 require hospitalization. 1 in 293 will die because of a virus called rotavirus. But this can be so easily eliminated by having a UVC sterilization system. Another one is Giardia lamblia. This is a cyst. They call it the traveler's diarrhea. Whenever you travel, make sure you take your gut pro, your probiotic and your prebiotic. They call it the Bali belly. They call it, when you go to Bali, people get diarrhea. I had one family go there, all of them had diarrhea. They call it the Bali belly, okay? This is caused by this cyst. It's not a bacteria or virus, it's a cyst, okay? It's larger, okay? And normally it's due to contaminated food or water. That's why when you're traveling, you can't carry your eSpring. Make sure you drink safe water, okay? And there's one more called Helicobacter. Very, it's not helicopter, Helicobacter. But this guy is like a helicopter because he has this tail which he can use it to propel itself. This bacteria causes gastric ulcer and stomach cancers. Okay? Sometimes when you do blood tests, they actually test for the antibodies and all that. Okay? So this guy looks like that. And what this bacteria does, it can produce ammonia that neutralizes your acid. That's why you don't want your stomach acid to be neutralized by alkaline water. So this guy generates ammonia. Okay? So when it generates ammonia, it gets a certain area of your stomach devoid of acid. And then it calls all his relatives. Oh, here, alkaline, come bro. Here got cold, Conway. Okay? Here, alkaline. So all the other bacteria come there and they start making a hole in your stomach. This is a terrible bacteria, okay? But studies have shown taking probiotic can help eliminate this, and this bacteria comes through contaminated food, contaminated water, okay? So, what is an effective way to destroy microorganisms? That's a question I ask. Got all these bacteria, virus, and cysts, how do you destroy them? So, how does it happen in nature? Because in nature, 1,000 years ago, people just drank water from the stream. Sunlight. UV, the natural sunlight, was a natural sterilizer. Remember when you had chicken pox, what your parents do? They take all the mattress and blanket and they go and sun it, correct? Because sunlight is a natural sterilizer. And now, Amway's technology, they have put a drop of sunlight in the eSpring. No need to be so technical. They sent a rocket to the sun, collected the sunlight and put in each unit one. And it's NSF certified. Yeah, this is not radiation, it's sunlight. So, this is amazing. I always tell people, does your system have UV light? Then don't talk. No need to talk. Because no matter how good your filter, bacteria and viruses are so tiny, there's even something called prions, so tiny can go through. But UV light will destroy the DNA, or their genetic software. The software is gone, they cannot multiply. Okay? So, actually it's 99.9999, I forgot one more 9 for the bacteria. Hello, if you scored 99.9999, you are an A student. And a lot of people do not appreciate RFID. Do you know, in Asia, counterfeit abounds. You check your LV bag. There are fake filters. RFID technology protects you. That some unscrupulous people can make a fake filter looks exactly the same. I mean, if they can make a Rolex watch that looks the real, you will be conned easily. But RFID technology will allow the system to reject because it cannot recognize. It doesn't have the code. So you tell people, this RFID technology protects you. Do you know a car engine oil filter is like 20 ringgit? You go Shopee, there's fake one, 7 ringgit. Why talk about a filter that is 500 ringgit? Maybe they're already making it, but they can't copy the RFID code. It protects you. For me, that is a plus point. That means even if I'm a customer, ABO, APC, whoever, I know the cartridge that comes is certified and I'm safe. And the only way is RFID technology. So this is an article by Ahem, The Dangers of Counterfeit Filters. They want a big article. There's so many companies affected by this. Okay? $1 million question. So, expensive? Okay? Let me answer the question. I think like this, lah. So I say, what is the cost of making true water? True water means clean water, naturally with minerals, no bacteria. We call this true water. I say, what's the cost? As opposed to your e-kidney filter. Okay? So, which is more expensive? But let's put it in perspective. Let's say you and I went to the mama store and we bought a teh tarik. Teh tarik is like 250 for a glass. So you convert it to a liter, it's 10 ringgit per liter, bro. Coca-Cola is $7.50 per liter. If you drink in this hotel, it's 15 ringgit one can. So it's 45 ringgit per liter. If you got petroleum business, this is better. How much is diesel? 3 ringgit per liter. How much is petrol? 2 ringgit. Hey, teh tarik. And complaining got no petrol subsidy. Hello? Pala. You want to calculate Starbucks? 15 ringgit per cup. 30 ringgit per liter. What is eSpring? 11.9 cents. Yeah. What is expensive? So tell people, if you drink 2 cups of tea a day, how much are you spending? And what is eSpring's cost of making true water? And what is the total ownership cost? Because we can keep for 10 years, 15 years. Okay? 4680. Very easy. I teach you how to remember. 2468. So remove the 2, 468. Okay? So the cost over 10 years is 39 ringgits. My son ordered a burger, the sound was 40 ringgit in this hotel. So over 10 years is 39 ringgit a month. Cheap. Anybody say expensive? I see you behind backstage. But let's say it lasts 15 years. 26 ringgit a month. If you ask me, this is the most value for money product. So we are all ABOs. You know what's the best part of the business? We can be healthy and we can also create wealth. Wealth is not just money. Wealth is you have peace of mind, you have freedom, you have time. And this business gives you that. So let's look at it from a business point of view. Okay? Why do I do this business? Do you notice the water there? So water in Chinese means money. Okay? Who want to go Budapest and Vienna? So Amway said 2 cities in 1 ALS. Actually, Amway didn't tell you the truth. It's actually 3 cities. Budapest is 2 cities. There is the Danube River that goes between Oboda and Pest. It's actually called Buda and Pest that merged in the 18th century to become Budapest. So Budapest in Hungary is 2 cities. That's how the name Budapest came. So, and you got Buda and Pest and Vienna. So you're going to change the airline's name, okay? So if you're not motivated to build a business, I'm motivated to build a business to go here. How about Victoria Falls? You see water, I see eSpring water flowing. So if you move enough eSpring, you'll be there. See what other people cannot see. So, I always tell people, our customers can forget to eat supplements. That's a reality. But our customers cannot forget to drink water. So if you got enough customers drinking water, you're making money sitting here. Because they're drinking water. They won't eat supplements maybe, but they have to drink water. So, you think about it, you can build a wellness community and you also got repeat business when they change the filter, correct? So over time, you'll have 100 homes, 1,000 homes, 10,000 homes changing the eSpring filter. You must see that. See what other people cannot see. But it starts with you. So just a little bit of business, okay? So this is the latest Core Plus for 2025, but I will just share a bit differently, okay? Okay, let me talk to you, because I see ABOs, they get stuck at 15%, I call them the founders 15%, and the 18%, the founders 18%, oh, it's okay. So I did a calculation here. So if let's say you're a founders 15%, your 4,500 PV, you get about, your group volume payout is 2,007, you keep 50% because, you share the bonus, correct? So your annual income is 16,200. So if you're founders 18%, your income is about 32,000, correct? Okay, plus minus. So a lot of you are stuck here. And then you say, Amway can make money, can he make money? Okay, then you get focused or defocused. So I need to look at it this way, which you haven't seen. Okay, so this is what people question. How do I make it to Founders Platinum? Because Founders 15%, very easy. Founders 3%, a lot. But there's no FAA for that, okay? Founders Achievement Award don't have for 3%, okay? So how do I make this? This is a $1 million question all ABOs ask. Okay, let me answer it. You see, Mount Everest, you don't climb in one stretch. So there is a base camp at 5,300 meters. So you realize going to base camp very easy. It's just like almost flat ground, you reach the base camp. Okay? Then you go to Camp 1, Camp 2, Camp 3, Camp 4. Getting colder, the wind is getting stronger. You have to understand the journey. That means don't start something without knowing the route, the road ahead. Because a lot of people, when they get stuck at 15 or 18, they get stuck at base camp. Because they were not prepared with the cold gear to move up. I'm not telling it's as difficult as that, but I'm giving you an analogy. So if you look at how the Amway plan goes, so I made it like this, Mount Everest, okay? So I've actually made it into scale. 250, 9, you realize the scale is according to scale. I took pixel by pixel because the height is 180 pixel. I divide by 1250, then times and get, okay? So you realize the easiest is 250, correct? Very easy. One gut pro, kau team already. Then to go to 900, can. You see the gap. Okay, so I call this the growth PV required. Now some of you have revelation. You realize from 0 to 450 is very easy. But you realize to go to the next camp is a 3,000 jump. It's not a good or bad thing, you just have to know the terrain. And when you get to 18, the next jump is 5,000. That one jump is equivalent from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps here. You realize what I'm trying to say? So some people then they get stuck. Because they didn't understand the growth PV required. So they get stuck at founders 18%, 15%. And in their mind they say, maybe this is not for me, maybe too difficult. Because you were not trained to go to the next level. But let me give you an idea today. You already have a community of people. Let's say you're a founders 15, 18%, you got 30, 40 people in your group. If you start with one eSpring, and if 3 or 4 legs of you take one eSpring, you're already 21%. Correct? Because one eSpring is 1,000 PV. Correct or not? It's not, for me, it's very simple. If I can start on eSpring this month, I don't want to wait for September. You know why? I don't have time to waste. You start in July August to learn about the eSpring, go and show enough people to build your momentum. You want to fly in September, you start in August. Okay? So, and when they get, won't they be sharing with other people, and next year and next month, the momentum starts building up? So for a lot of you who are very good doing what you're doing, maybe some of you in artistry, some of you got reset, but the last jump to Everest, 4 to 5 eSpring, you make it. Very simple. But your income jumps 5.7 times. So if you're not motivated, so as a founder's 18%, I make 32,000 per annum. Because I got founders 29%, I make 185,000. So do you want to be stuck at base camp? Or you want to learn the knowledge of eSpring that these 3 distinguished speakers shared today to take your business to the next level? Okay? So let's grow more Founders Platinum. If you are an Emerald, you're Emerald, you'll go Founders Emerald. If you're a Diamond, you'll go Founders Diamond. Correct? Because just by moving and helping people understand eSpring, you will go to the next level. So I tell people, the fundamental trio for your health: true water, clean air, and supplements. We have it all. We have it all. I really believe we are in the greatest business, greatest adventure. You're going to see so many countries and places. It's going to be the greatest adventure in your life. So, the greatest wealth is health. Stay healthy, stay young. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that was incredible! Make some noise to the Executive Diamond, Dr. Ignatius! Oh my God! I love his presentation, ladies and gentlemen. I was being told by my friends in Amway that, Tiong, you would fall in love with Dr. Ignatius, and I totally did. Thank you so much for your valuable sharing. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to close our event, it is my pleasure to invite the Chief Marketing Officer of Amway Malaysia and Brunei, Joanne Chong, to join us on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Amway, make some noise to Joanne!
Wow, I think it's clearly the best, right? It's not better, it's the best. I would like to borrow your power to give a special thanks to all the speakers today. Let's give a big round of applause to all the speakers. They are amazing. I think another one that we want to actually thank is really all of you to continue staying who actually was in the earlier session. Wow. Thank you very much. I think your energy is really super. You know, from the 3 hours and then another almost 4 hours, you continue to stay with us. Thank you very much. I always say that I have a very special emotion, okay, with this eSpring. Because I was the person in charge of the eSpring, and I witnessed the last eSpring launch 18 years ago. And how many 18 years we have, right? And then second round, I have the chance, and it's my honor to witness the new eSpring launch today. Isn't that great? So there are 18 years. Actually, it's a long time. So some people ask me, how can a company actually sell a product for 18 years? There's no innovation. You know, if you were to actually long enough, okay, in the business, if you still remember 18 years ago, we have other brands, since they are no longer around, I can mention the brand. Let's say Diamond, if you still remember. Yeah? Okay, so where they are? Gone, right? But today, we still here. Along the way, we have one C come out, another C come out. So what? We continue to be number one, right? And we see so many numbers and so many certification and all the endorsement. Okay, so all these numbers that you see just now, they never come easy. So just like the philosophy and the due diligence that we have behind the Neutralite, behind Amway, every single things that we do, we want to give you the best possible products. And there's a lot of effort to put behind of every single numbers here, regardless it's a 10 years of UVC, whether it's a NSF, whether it's 170, and continue to add on as the technology requires us to do that. And of course, 5 years warranty and so on, and bringing the best to every single family. So I want to skip that. No, we know that it's already overrun. I really want to thank all of you continue to stay with us. Yeah, and I would think that from the key takeaway that I hear today, the one of the things I feel like, okay, there's something that, I will never do that in future. Moving on, I hope that all of you will not take the bottled water, okay, and bring your own eSpring water. And all of you who actually register, every one of you should have gotten an eSpring flask, right? Do you guys like it? Yeah, okay, so moving forward, if you were everywhere you go, especially Amway event, bring your eSpring flask, yeah? And, okay, so Dr. Dinisha just now have mentioned that 4658, okay? And we are launching in September 1st, okay? And we are having a promotion. If you were to buy, okay, eSpring, and you will get a hot water. I know that doctor was saying that no need to boil water, but we still need hot water to make our coffee, tea, or whatever, right? So September 1st onwards, okay, every new eSpring that you buy, you will get a hot water dispenser and worth $499. So take the opportunity to promote that. And beside this rally, we know that it's very well popular. It's overwhelming. We have more than 2,000 people joining today, and also have many who join us physically. And we also understand that we are not able to go to every town to bring our expert speaker to every town. Okay, so they had, after Malaysia, in fact, they are rushing to Taiwan. Then later they go to Singapore. So, it's very thankful for them to have them here, yeah? And we also have the workshop, okay, and different languages, okay? Take the opportunity to sign up if you have not, okay? And we cover both Malaysia, East Malaysia and East Malaysia, Pan Malaysia as well. Yeah, and we have created, like Tom mentioned, we have created so many different material, all types of videos, brochure. You guys get the brochure as well, right? And in different languages, make use of them, okay? Download the app, get hold of that and start promoting it now, right? Thank you very much, and having you guys here. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much to Joanne, and please remain on the stage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude and appreciation to the esteemed guests that we have today. So we'd like to once again invite the Director of Global Business Development of Water Systems, NSF, Rick Andrew, the Global Brand Manager of eSpring, Tom Sturgeon, the Manager of Amway Global Regulatory Affairs, Yulia Park, our Executive Diamond, Dr. Ignatius, and also David Brockmeyer, the Product Manager for Connected Durables, to join us on the stage. On behalf of Amway Malaysia, we'd like to invite Joanne to present a token of appreciation to all the speakers here today. Thank you so much upon the expertise, your insightful sharing, and we have learned a lot today. So ladies and gentlemen, if you may, a round of applause and make some noise to the speakers and our esteemed guests. Especially to our new friends in the house, this is indeed one of the best events that I've ever hosted. I hope you have learned a lot, you have gained a lot, and this would actually help you to be a successful ABO in the future. And of course, more to come in the future, so ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Thank you so much to all our esteemed guests from all over the world sharing the stage to show and share your expertise. Oh, we'd like to invite Joanne to join for a group photo opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere because we are about to shoot a group photo together with every single one of you momentarily, all right? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, give it up, a round of applause and make some noise to Rick, Tom, Julia, Dr. Ignatius, and David. Thank you so much to Joanne. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, water is everywhere, but we learned today, it doesn't mean that water is clean and safe everywhere. So, we have the solution for the pollution before your consumption. So ladies and gentlemen, healthy water, healthy living. Once again, a round of applause. Congratulations to the brand new eSpring in Malaysia. Last but not least, I would like to share something I felt today. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family of Amway Malaysia, throughout my career as a host, as an MC, this is the first time I'm seeing people, I'm seeing you taking notes during presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen this in any other company. You are so dedicated, you are so passionate, you are so committed to share the best to the world. And please allow me to say this in a Malaysian way. No wonder lah, Amway is the best. Are you the best or not? Ladies and gentlemen, if you are the best, make some noise for yourselves. With that, I would like to invite our photographer to join me on the stage to take a group photo together. So ladies and gentlemen, I would really appreciate if you would come forward. All right, so instead of calling this a group photo, this is a family portrait that belongs to us in Amway. So ladies and gentlemen, bring along your friends, your family, hold their hands or on their shoulders. Tell them you are the best, you are the champion, you are the inspiration, and you are the role model. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, very easy. If you couldn't see the camera couldn't see you. All right, smile to the camera, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now it is the time for video. After the countdown, let us shout, go eSpring. Can we do that or not? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1. Who is the best? Amway! Once again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today in this event, especially to those of you who have been with us since morning, since the afternoon session. Thank you very, very much. We hope that you have learned a lot. We hope that you gained a lot today. And also, we'd like to take this opportunity to once again thank all our speakers, our esteemed guests from all over the world, and thank you every single one of you. Last but not least,